Hi, this is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman, and today we're talking about love. Hi, my name is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman. I'm an intuitive psychic medium here in the Sugar Land area. That's just outside of Houston. I work with my angels and guides to assist my clients in many areas of their lives, to bring them special messages from loved ones who have passed, to dialogue with their angels for guidance into their own situation, or to assist them with their own psychic abilities. If you like my content, please make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. There is a mixed bag of emotions and behaviors and beliefs that everybody brings in what they think love is about. And I will tell you that for generations, years and years and years, people have been kind of like discussing what does love mean to someone else? What does love mean to one person that it doesn't mean to someone else? And this really comes in, like I said, from a mixed bag of emotions of like what you saw mimicked to you as a child. Your parents' relationships, maybe your grandparents' relationships, your aunt and uncle's relationship, your cousins' relationships, and it could even go into nieces and nephews, depending on your family and how close you are to each other. All of that kind of really strives in what does love mean to me? And everybody has a different emotion. Everybody has a different definition of it. Love makes me feel this way, or love makes me feel that way. Or I don't want love like Aunt and Uncle so-and-so, but I do want love like my mom and dad did, or whatever it is. However it is, those influences influence our definition of what love is. And I will tell you really the basics of it is people want a strong association to being affectionate, being in love, being protected, being respected by someone else always having your back or always got your side. So that's kind of what love is, because like I said, everybody has a different explanation. Some people have like a great connection with just even saying the words, I love you. I have clients that are just like, I still can't tell my husband I love him. It's just something about it. And that's something that either you brought up in this life or it's something that you brought in from a previous life, a past life for you. But what most people really want is attraction to someone else, feeling cared for and protected by someone else respecting them and their boundaries, someone else being on their side. That's really what we want, and everybody has a different way of explaining that. But that's kind of what we really want from love on our side. And so what's really important to understand is you're not just falling in love with that person, you're kind of falling in love with everything they've seen in their life. Even though you don't know all of it yet, you're kind of falling in love with all of that stuff. And how people connect with that is different. If you've had great examples of love, you're going to have a great example of love that you're going to show to the other person. If you've kind of had bad examples and haven't made new choices, you may make some of those bad examples over and over again. And that's kind of when people fall in love with the wrong person or the wrong type of people, or get into relationships that are unhealthy, unbalanced. Maybe there's abuse, physical, emotional abuse, and it's one of those that's coming in because you have that in your system to kind of bring up and out. Once you clear it out of your system, you'll never find a person like that again. You won't even be on their radar, and they won't even show up as a blip on yours. So what's really important is to understand what love is to you and what are your healthy boundaries for love. Everybody has different boundaries. It's one of those, you could go out on a date with someone and they tell you on the first date, I don't even hold hands on the first date. Okay, that's their boundary. Now you have a choice to decide, am I going to hold that boundary or am I going to walk away? Your choice. It's totally your choice. Someone else may have a boundary where I only kiss on the first date. Now you can choose, am I going to hold this boundary or am I going to walk away? Your choice. Some other people have boundaries that are not as stable or as strong as other people. And so they may say, I don't have sex on the first date, or I don't have sex on the first 4 or 5 dates, but you already kind of feel like they're going to give in at some point. And that's where you have to decide, are you going to hold their boundary or are you going to step all over it? Everybody has different boundaries. And like I said, everything comes in from what they've learned in the past of how to set up healthy boundaries and how to feel that energy moving forward. How is that going to come about for them? I will tell you that most people are looking for a healthy type of love. That's what they're really looking for, is someone who is going to show them love, affection in some form or frequency, holding each other, cuddling each other, and kind of being able to trust that other person. Because really, when you fall in love, you want that other person to first be your friend, and so that you can talk to them about how you feel about this or how you feel about that, or I really didn't like this, or I really love that. Whatever it is, you want someone you can trust, that's going to have your back, been listening to your side, so you can explore that. This is what I think love is, or this is why I think this is what love is, and being able to explore that and maybe heal both of you or one of you and move forward. That's really the fun part about love. But I guarantee you, everybody on the whole planet is looking for love. Everybody is. We were designed that way. We were designed to be with someone else. Now, we're going to get into something a little bit differently, because I hear this a lot from especially younger people, but I also hear it from older people. And I will say I'm usually hearing it from, people under the age of 30 or so. So what happens is they will often tell me, I want someone to complete me. Well, what do you need to complete yourself? They don't know. And so I'm like, so you're expecting someone else to come into your life who barely knows you, and you want them to complete you, but you don't know what's missing. So how are you going to explain to them what's missing? Literally, you have to be your own person first. You have to know what you want in life, where you want to go in life. What are your ambitions? What do you want? Do you want to get married and have a family? Do you want to get married and not have any children? Or do you not ever want to get married? Your choice. What do you want? You have to choose. You have to decide what it is that you desire to bring into you. We all have different definitions of that. I often tell people, I was like, I chose to get married and have 2 kids, but you have a completely different choice. You have a choice to never get married. You have a choice to get married. You have a choice to have children, and you have a choice not to have children. What are you going to choose? How are you going to choose this? And that's really where it comes in, knowing you. And if you start off in a relationship thinking that you have to find someone to complete you, it really isn't fair for the other person, because you should be a whole, complete person before you ever start in a new relationship. You should be a whole, complete person all by yourself. You should be able to go and have dinner by yourself. Should be able to go and do events by yourself. You should be able to do all that kind of stuff kind of on your own, or not feeling like everybody's staring at me. You may not like it, but you could still do it. Because if you're a whole person and they're a whole person, then you come in and you're 2 people that are choosing to love each other, to choose to support each other, choosing to show affection to each other, and to keep coming back day after day to work on the relationship together. No relationship is ever without bumps. That's just part of life. Everybody has lumps and bumps in their marriage or in their relationships, where there's misunderstandings, or people aren't cooperating, or someone doesn't feel well, and now you have to do more because the other person isn't feeling well. And that's just part of life. When you're in a relationship with someone else, you have to make choices all the time. Am I going to choose this, or am I going to choose that? It's up to you. But I will tell you that that's kind of the cool part, is relationships together are kind of like their own energy. And the more you decide, I love me, and I'm going to be the best me I'm going to be, and the partner with me, I'm going to hope for the best for them, and I'm going to keep moving down my track, the better off you're going to be in the long term. Knowing what you want in your life is going to make your life so much easier and so much more defined, because you can define what success is. I define success as, it's going to make it easier than, I have no freaking idea what success is. I have no idea what I love. I have no idea what's going to complete me. You got to find out what these are. You've got to find out what it is deep down in you that really desires love. Now let's go to a new step. So one of the things is a lot of times when young people, when people are in their teens and 20s, they find people that they think are kind of the answer to their prayers, and kind of like, this is what I want, or this person's going to complete me. And they get into relationships with people they really shouldn't be in relationships with. And because of that, they come away with being hurt, not being heard, break up all the time, whatever it is. And they bring in all this turmoil energy constantly, and then they kind of like, I don't know what to do with this. And they've got a lot of hurt inside. They have a lot of anger about what's happened to them, and a lot of times it takes years for them to work through this and kind of really rethink what love is to them, because they've had people that have stepped over their boundaries. Sometimes people have been raped or molested on dates, that sort of thing. So it's kind of like changing all of that philosophy, and then still having this deep inner desire to move into a relationship of, I want to find love. I want love. I'm scared of love, but I want love. I'm afraid to step out on my own because they may realize I'm not complete without somebody. They may decide that they don't want to hold my boundaries, or they may decide that I'm not worthy enough. And that's from old hurts coming up, either in this life or past lives, that are still affecting them to this day. So the more you kind of work on yourself and heal some of those things from the inside out, the better off you're going to be, and the more likely you're going to find a healthy love for you and for someone else. So let's do a couple of angel cards and get us a little bit more insight on love is complicated. So this one is popping it forward. This is answered prayers. So many times I have clients sit in front of me and going, I just want someone to love me. I just want someone to be there for me. I just want someone to care for me. And that is an answered prayer. This love is about an answered prayer. Yet at the same time, you have to know what that prayer is. You have to know what your prayer is. Healing. Love can be very healing, and it can heal us on many, many different levels. But we have to first start with loving ourselves. If you don't love you, then how can you expect someone else to love you? Very important information there. Very important. Let's see. This one's popping forward. Guardian angels. Our guardian angels are with us all the time, and always kind of bringing in the right person to kind of bring things up. And it's not to get you to re-hurt or anything else. It's to show you, this is where you're still having a problem. This is where you still have an issue, or you've healed it all. And now this is a great person to be your cheerleader on the sidelines of life, or to be there and root you on no matter what else is going on. That's the really cool, fun part. The most important part about love is that you know that it's deep down inside when it's right. I thank you so much for joining me today, and I know that we'll be talking again soon.